How's it going? My name's Lawrence, I'll be a physio. How can I help you today?
Hey guys, how's it going? A common question I get is what supplements do I take? So this is a stack of all the supplements I take. I don't get paid to say anything like this. And just a disclaimer that I don't recommend any of this. I take it because it makes me feel good. So this is what I take. So in the morning when I wake up, I have a workout. So I usually have a coffee or I have a pre-workout. So the pre-workout I'm having at the moment is Pre-101 by Bulk Nutrients. So I find that that's pretty good. And I'm also taking Oxy Shred. So I don't take them both at the same time. I alternate depending on how I feel. I find the Pre-101 is pretty clean. It's the best one I've had, apart from stuff that's illegal now, like Crazed and Jack. But Pre-101 is good. Oxy Shred, I just take here and every now and again. I took it this morning, felt pretty good, but I have had a few crashes before. Didn't crash today, so maybe it was just a few off days. But those two are my pre-workouts. So I take that before my workout, and I take it with creatine. So creatine from Bulk Nutrients as well, just a different container. I take 5 milligrams a day, and it's just been shown to help with like power, lasting a bit longer with your strength, better recovery, all that kind of stuff. All right, so that is when I wake up at 5 a.m. After that, I will have breakfast. So if I'm fasting, then I'll have fiber, Metamucil. Fiber is probably the best thing I take. I take it twice a day, 2 spoons per time. I try to take it on an empty stomach because it's meant to help like your stomach organisms and stuff, but I just take it because it helps me not bleed when I go to the toilet. That's just a consequence of my diet. Yeah, so I take this, helps me be more regular. I don't get as many cramps and stuff like that. I've also been taking digestive enzymes, so that's one, and this is another one that I found at my local pharmacy. I tend to take this one because the dosages is a bit better with the enzymes, and it just helps me digest food a bit better, and I don't feel kind of crap straight after taking it. Yeah, so that at the moment I'm not fasting, so breakfast is usually 2 scoops of protein. So again, Bulk Nutrients. It's cheap, it does a job, I don't feel crap, and I find chalk honeycomb tastes really good. Like I don't feel like vomiting or gagging, unlike other proteins that I've taken. I used to take Gold Standard Whey. Felt alright, but I usually feel kind of gross after. This one I feel pretty good and tastes good, tastes like candy. So I'll take that one. And then in terms of other supplements I take, so with a meal, I mix between I have all of these pretty much. So I take Glucosamine. So with my job, I do a lot of manual therapy, so a lot of pushing through my wrist and elbows and all that kind of stuff. My joints get really stuffed and it really hurts. So I find that when I take this, it does help with the pain and I don't get as sore. So studies are pretty iffy about it, but for me personally, I find it works. So I take Glucosamine for my joints, and I'm gonna start taking it today. This is vitamin D. So vitamin D, apparently we're all deficient in vitamin D. Vitamin D helps with calcium absorption, but it's also been shown to be linked with your mood. So if you're feeling pretty crap because you're not going outside, supplement vitamin D. I work from 8 till 6, so I barely see any sunlight. There's people that are worse off than me. I do get a bit of sunlight when I drive to work, and at lunchtime I do get a chance to like stand outside if I have time. So I'm lucky, but I still get, the feels when it gets dark and I don't get any sunlight. So I supplement vitamin D for that. So that's there. Zinc, I was listening to podcasts. I think it was a Joe Rogan one, and they were talking about neural health, so just like preventing neurodegeneration. Apparently zinc's meant to help. They mentioned a specific strand or a specific type of zinc, but I couldn't find it anywhere. So I just take this and hope that it helps. So who knows, I might just be pissing it all out and wasting money. Cool. Next one is curcumin. So curcumin is an anti-inflammatory. It's made from turmeric, or it's an extract of turmeric. Apparently it absorbs better when it's combined with black pepper extract. So that's why I'm taking this one. I find that most of the stuff I take is from Bioglam. I've taken other stuff before, but this is the stuff that just doesn't mess my stomach up a little bit. So I take one of these. Next one I take is krill oil. So I find when I take krill oil, I don't have the gross fishy burps that I used to have with fish oil. And I just bought this because it was cheap, you know, so one tab of that as well. It's also an anti-flam, and I don't really like fish, so I don't really get as much omega-3s as I'm meant to. And if anyone knows me, my diet is full of fatty omega-6. I like fried, delicious stuff, so it's good to balance that out a little bit. Next would be magnesium. So I take this one. Rhonda doesn't really like this because it dissolved weird once, and she she spat it out and it was all gross and stuff. Maybe it was an old jar and it was really nasty, but I've got no problems with this. I normally take 2 of them. Same thing with vitamin D, we're deficient in magnesium. It's one of the essential chemicals in our body, essential elements. So magnesium, potassium, sodium, and calcium, we need all of that. So I take magnesium just to help with my muscle soreness. It also helps me get a bit of rest, and apparently it's meant to support bone strength and blah, 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 blah. So I take this one because it's got a combination of a lot of different magnesiums. Hopefully one of them's helping. So that's that. Next one I take is a calcium and vitamin D stack. So again, I do recommend this to a lot of people because we don't get enough calcium or vitamin D. 2 tabs. It's just for bone strength. So I do a lot of resistance training, which is meant to help build bone density, but nothing's gonna make my bones denser if I'm not getting enough calcium. And I'm Asian, so I'm kind of lactose intolerant. So I'm not gonna be drinking a lot of dairy stuff, and my meals when I'm being good is usually just rice, chicken, veggies. So I'm not very nutritious, so I try to supplement with a bit of calcium. And last thing, this is another magnesium tab, but I usually take that when I'm about to go to sleep. Apparently that one's meant to help with rest and all that kind of stuff. So that is what I usually take in a day. Also, I take Baraka. So Baraka I take it kind of like a salt supplement. So if I've been sweating a lot, especially if I've been training and I'm like really gross and sweaty, especially with like Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu where it's a lot of isometric contractions and you're like constantly sweating and all that gross stuff. Fine, I cramp dramatically when I'm undersalted and really dehydrated. So I try to take this before and or after intense workout, and it just prevents cramping. I do feel a little bit better. So maybe just gives me a bit of everything to look after myself. Yeah, so Baraka's good. I usually take all of this in one shot. So I'll see if I can set it. Is that all the tabs today? So that's all the tabs. So I've been doing this for years. I used to take it individually, but it was a massive waste of time. And then one day I accidentally took like a bunch and I was like, oh yeah, I didn't choke. So I just take it all at once. So I'm used to doing it now. So cheers. Okay, so that's done for today. I'm going to have another meal. So I might take an enzyme just to help with absorption. Good stuff. Yeah, so that's pretty much all the supplements I take. So if you're curious, you can go back, you can see the brands and all that kind of stuff. No one's sponsoring me or anything. I hope they do, but no one's really doing that. So as a recommendation, I don't recommend anything. I do this because it makes me feel good. So do your research, try it out. If you have an adverse effect, then don't do it, but check with a health professional, check with a doctor. I've been taking all this stuff for years, so I know how it's gonna make my body react. I feel good when I take it. If I don't take it for about a week, I do start to feel all the aches and the pains and all the, like, I just feel bad if I don't take it. So all of this is, I feel it's worth because it helps me stay healthy and that keeps me moving and active and doing what I need to do. So if you have any other questions, let me know in the comments and I'll answer them. But that's pretty much what I take in a day. Yeah, hope you learned something. Don't do anything stupid. And I'll catch you guys soon.